and like that are safe, not that are like pen pals to prisoners or anything like that. Although if you want a pen pal to a prisoner, like go for it. Talk about friendships today. Unpopular opinion. You're going to use people to practice on. And I know that that sounds kind of like mean, like, oh, you're just using them to practice. But really what you're learning to do is kind of hone your self-awareness of what you like and what you don't like in a relationship, whether it's friendship or a love relationship or any relationship. And the only way to get through to the idea of what you like is practice. Friendships are really hard, and they get harder as you get to be an adult. Maybe when you go to work, you try to be friends and you realize, in the US at least, that's not how it works. Research has shown that the more you know about your coworkers, the less likely you are to be their friends outside of work. So usually those are acquaintances, at least in the US. And as an adult, it gets harder and harder and harder. And especially if you've moved from state to state, country to country, job to job, it becomes really difficult. So I decided to do a lot of reading because I have, well, if you don't know me, my name is Dee Dee. I moved to Portugal from the US probably about a little bit more over than a year ago. And I knew that I was going to need a support system. So I knew that I was going to need some sort of friends of some sort. Marisa Franco, Marisa, I'm going to get personal with her first name. She's had a TED Talk, and she just recently had an article. I will link it below, so don't worry about it. She goes through the 5 things that can help you when trying to have an adult friendship. And so I'm going to go through those as well, but I'm also going to give you examples. So number 1 is put yourself out there. Make a deliberate choice to go out and make friends. And some people are like, well, I don't want to do that. Okay, that's totally fine. Parasocial relationships where you meet somebody on social media, or you reach out, or you start to message. Long distance or digital friends. I have a friend that is a very close friend to me, reached out from TikTok. PenPals, websites that do pen pal exchange. Bumble BFF. Before I left to go to Portugal, I started using it and found like a really good group of girls that we went and did trivia night with, and still I contact and talk with those ladies, frequently. Networking. If you're a digital nomad, if you're a knitter, if you're you go on Meetup and you find a hobby, you like volleyball, you whatever it is. So lots of ways to like make a deliberate opportunity for yourself. This was a photography meetup. So this time what we did was we went around a specific neighborhood and found all of the hidden gems. We were given a little tour from someone who lives in the area and is a photographer. And we just spent a couple of hours walking the hills, taking photos. It was so much fun. You're going to find things that you don't like, and then you're going to be able to kind of like hone in what you do like, so that when you do find that person, you can really invest the time. You want to go through and kind of quickly know, okay, this is somebody that I would really want to, spend some time with, and also spend time in cultivating a relationship. Self-awareness is crucial, but you don't necessarily need it 100% because you're going to practice with these people. This is one of the groups that I joined when I got into Portugal. Each week is a new tour guide, and that tour guide lives in that area. So they're able to like give us some good ideas about like restaurants in this area, how they like living there. Number 2, I think is hilarious. Assume that nobody has any bad feelings for you. End of story. So then Marissa's 3rd is initiate. Just start small. Make it open a little bit, but pretty specific. So for example, I would say, hey, it's Dee Dee. Remember we met at blah, 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 right? I remember that you said that you like movies. There is this really cool film festival coming up that's just shorts. I checked it out and it is going to have English subtitles. So it's on this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I'm just wondering if you wanted to come along on any of those days. The tickets are $7 and just let me know if you think you can make it. That gives them the opportunity to say yes or no to specific things. Right? It also gives that little flexibility of like, if they can't do it on Friday, maybe they can do it on Sunday, and they can start the negotiation. When people ask me like, hey, can you do this? And I have to say no, I say no, but you know what? Keep asking. I'm really interested in this kind of stuff. That gives them an indicator that like, you're not just saying no because it's, and then all of a sudden you're embarrassed because like maybe they didn't really want to give their phone number, blah, blah, blah. Remember, step 2. Everybody likes you, right? Everybody likes you. So be somewhat specific, but give them an option. And if they say no, then just keep trying if this is somebody that you really want to spend time with. Now, on the other side, they're going to give you other clues. They're going to give you clues if they don't answer the message on time, if they give you an excuse as to why they didn't answer your message. Then put them in a different section, and maybe they're not the ones that you're going to be like, BFFs. If they're giving you the no vibe, then take it and be okay with it. That's all right. Here's one of the biggest myths. Friendship is not organic when you're an adult. You don't just like somehow like walk outside your door and poof, your best friend is there, and it's not, it's super easy. You never have any conflict. That's just a huge myth. And so knowing that going forward, you know that it's going to take some work, then usually people only have time for 1 or 2 really close friends. You can have acquaintances and people that you see on a regular basis, and they can bring joy into your life and be supportive. But it depends on if you're looking for that 1 or 2 best friends, or if you're looking for just multiple acquaintances or people to do things with. That really is up to you and your choice. I went to a meetup that was a writing meetup. So basically we got together, we had a conversation about what we were going to do for the next hour, and then we got into this library and wrote for an hour, and then met each other at the cafe and talked about it at the end. It was a wonderful group of ladies, and I was just like so excited to be there. It's also a really good reference of libraries in the area that you can just hang out in. And then what kind of feedback works for you? So when you tell them a story, whether it's I had a really bad day at work, or I couldn't find the shoes in the right size, and they give you their answer to that, whatever it is, how did you feel about that? Did you feel that they were trying to fix you and that's not what you wanted? Did you feel like they were trying to tell you what to do and that's not what you wanted? Did you find it to be supportive, that they understood what you meant? Did you feel like they were trying to one-up you? All of this is, again, more feedback and more data so that you can tell like, okay, this person is somebody that I want to invest my time and energy into because they're going to give me the feedback that I need. Here's the other unpopular opinion. You're going to challenge or test them. Marisa says be vulnerable, and this is where I feel like this is a challenge, test, see what they're going to do. So being vulnerable does not mean trauma dump. Let me repeat that. Being vulnerable does not mean trauma dump. So here are some things that I do, which might be controversial. I don't know. How my new friend or my new potential friend, handles distress. So that's always a really good indicator for me. Are they freaking out about something that I wouldn't freak out about? Are they blaming other people? Do I feel safe around them? And how it feels to you is what's important. We're putting another piece of data on that self-awareness chart to say like, these are the types of people that I want to be involved with. Is somebody going to support me when I say something vulnerable? So there's this really cool article that I read by the Huffington Post, and it talks about this German word that is defining what it's like to have joy for someone else's achievements and goals. So this would look like you are just super excited that somebody got their book proposal that they have been talking about, and now they are technically a writer. Freudenfreuden? Freudenfreude. I know it's not easy. I know making friends is not easy. I know going outside is not easy, but there are ways. I hope it helps you make your lifelong friend. And if not, that's okay. Just keep practicing. Keep practicing.